Hey guys, what's going on? Just want to talk about a quick piece of gear, I guess. Not necessarily focusing on the whole guitar for this one, but mostly the loaded body here. So before I get to that, this is the neck that I had my buddy Trevor Healy make me. I just slapped this on here just so I could, hear how this sounds and kind of put it through its paces. Now, this body and pickups and all that, this loaded body came from a Fender Subsonic guitar. I bought it used from Guitar Center online, and I knew right away that I was just going to keep the neck from that project and do something else with it. It's currently on this Strat right now. It may or may not stay on there, but I'm really liking it on there. Now, Subsonics are baritone scale. They're 27.7 inches, I believe. Some people say 27, some people say 27 and a half, I don't know. But basically it's meant for lower tunings, and I don't put mine in B standard, but they came from the factory in B standard, which is very cool, low tuning for, different kind of thing. Hardtail bodies, that classic Fender hardtail bridge. This is the American bridge. So it's a little different from that older bent steel saddle style that I don't really like. It's not super comfortable for palm muting or anything like that. Now, these electronics are mostly original. It's got that humbucker in the bridge. It could be an atomic humbucker. I don't know if they really named their pickups, at least back then. This is a 2000 body. I believe the Subsonics were made from 2000 to 2001 or so. It was a short time, and whatever pickups they used, I'm not super sure, but I do believe that they are original, just based on the wiring and everything that's underneath. I did have to clean up the wiring on this quite a bit, because clearly the person that owned this before me was into messing around with things, and as you can see from the back, decided at one point that they wanted active electronics. Maybe they had active pickups, maybe they just wanted an onboard preamp or something for more tonal shifting. I'm not really sure, but I noticed some of the solder was a little nasty looking. I cleaned that all up, and I even put a new tone pot on that bottom pot right there. It had different knobs. It had these weird, I don't even know, stereo looking knobs. I had to take those off. Once I took that off, I realized one of the knobs wasn't going to work for the original style knob. Basically, it didn't have the split shaft. It had a solid shaft, so it wasn't going to fit on there. But yeah, I think it all sounds pretty good, as you heard in the demo, you know, in the first part of the video. It's definitely not just a baritone kind of guitar. You know, I don't think these pickups were necessarily made for the Subsonic. I think they were just their standard HSS run-of-the-mill pickups that they put in even just the standard Strats. So it sounds good, you know, on all positions and different tones, everything like that. It's definitely a good working piece of equipment. I had to put a new jack on because the person before here had left the stereo jack on. The stereo jacks are meant for, you know, use with a 9-volt battery, which is what goes in here. There's space for 2 of them. And that stereo jack was so large, you couldn't even fit that with the jack plate normally. The jack plate was actually reversed. It was upside down just to be able to fit it all in there. So I swapped that all around and basically got it all working again. You know, the body is surprisingly in very good condition. There's only very light scratches on it. Other than, you know, the big cavity on the back that has the 9 volts, or what would have the 9 volts. I mean, it's, other than that, it's basically a really, really good instrument from, you know, 2000. So I am selling this loaded body. It is on my reverb page. I'm not selling the neck. The neck is just something that I'll be using for something else. But, you know, until it sells, I'll have no problem jamming this thing. Maybe I'll use it in a cover or 2. I'm not really sure. If you guys want me to, I can do that. But yeah, it's honestly just a really nice American-made Fender body. You know, I think it would do really well for anybody that's looking for a project, especially a hardtail. Finding a Fender hardtail is really tough. At least like a newer one that's not crazy expensive. I mean, the hardtails were fairly popular in the 70s. I believe mostly the late 70s, but, you know, scattered throughout. And then they weren't really much of a thing for many years. I'm not sure if they just discontinued it completely for, you know, a couple decades, but they brought them back in like the late 90s a little bit and 2000s. But even now, it's very hard to come by like an actual Fender hardtail body. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely let me know. You can put any neck on this, as long as it's, you know, either 25.5 inch or, you know, like the Subsonic, because the Subsonic necks and these necks go on the same body. However they had designed that, it intonates properly with both necks, which is really cool, depending on, you know, the tunings you use. So anyway, if you guys have any questions at all, definitely let me know. Yeah, I'll be, like I said, happily jamming this for a little bit. It's, you know, it's something different than, you know, the normal just one pickup thing that I usually do. So yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.